Assalamualaikum.
Sawadee-kha.
Hello.
The poem Hikayat Abdullah by Munshi Abdullah is a piece that describes an actual fire which destroyed the poet's possession in the early 18s. First of all, in stanza 1, 2 and 3, we can see that the poet is describing the unfortunate event, including how shocked and terrified he was, how the raging fire burns down and destroyed everything that is on its way. Secondly, in stanza 4, the poet describes how all the money he had saved and spent on his possessions end up in vain, and who can imagine how much does the things that had been destroyed by the fire might cost. Moreover, this poet even used a metaphor describing the fire as a robber who steals his possessions. Finally, from the last stanza, we can see that the poet is feeling hopeless and sad, as the thing he had already planned to bring back home was useless as the damage had been done, and all he could do left is just sigh and to look for help. In a nutshell, the poem talks about how our precious things can be taken away or destroyed and we can do nothing about it. From this, I learned a lesson that life has its ups and downs. Therefore, we should not take things for granted, as we can lose them someday once and for all.
Hello everybody! Have you ever heard of Hati Budi, or in English we call it Psyche? Okay, so today I'll be talking about that poem. Upright is the nation because of character. Decadence of character ruins the nation. In this stanza, it shows that if you have a good character, it reflects on your own nation. And decadence also means when you self-indulge in yourself, it will show on your country's image as a selfish country. So that's not good. Next stanza is: the jasmine grows on land, the water lily sprouts in the water. Iron is despised for its rust, man is despised for lack of character. So it shows here in this stanza how much character development is important to every human being. We have to be a good person, kind to others, to earn the title of a man or woman or a decent human being. Continuing on. When paddy abounds, only then it is called a paddy field. When good character abounds, only then it is right to call one a man. As mentioned earlier, this shows how important a good personality is to be nice to others, to earn the rightful title as a human being. Last stanza. Firstly comes the gentry. Secondly, to have thousands and tens of thousands. Thirdly is to always have sweet countenance. Fourthly, to be of good character. The stanza itself, defined by itself, is mentioned again and again throughout this poem, to have a good character. That is all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone. Have you ever heard of pantun buah cempedak di luar pagar? Or have you ever heard of pisang emas di bawah belayar? Because I am going to present it to you today. The first one is pantun buah cempedak di luar pagar, but in English version. Where jackfruit grows without the fence, go prod them gently with a stick. A youthful learner eyed, so hence be pleased to point out each mistakes. Jackfruit here is referred to knowledge. This is because, according to old generations, when jackfruit grows outside of the fence, it can be for anyone, and so is knowledge. This shows how polite the old generations ask permission to other people to teach them. And the second one would be, garner the paddy at its height, let it be withered ere the morn, Look well on us whilst you inside, don't love long be at tomorrow's dawn. Gather the paddy at its height shows that you have to reap the paddy as soon as it ripes. If you wait, it will eventually wither. This also applies when you are in a relationship. If you are in a relationship, you have to keep on checking your significant other so that your partner will feel very appreciated. Never take granted for a peaceful relationship. The third one would be, your awning is of plaited matting, while mine is but of withered pine. A wanderer you but with a footing, an outcast exile's lot is mine. Plaited matting is used by the elite people during 90s, while the withered pine is used by poor and average people. This shows that if you have a place and have a spot at a village, you will be treated nicely by the people in the village. And if you are just a traveler or a nomad, you're not going to be treated nicely by the people. The fourth one will be, with gold and placed and sail away, whilst on the chest lies one that's right. The depths of gold we can repay, but depths of kindness last through life. Golden plastings, or we call it pisang emas. Pisang emas is usually brought by sailors during 90s because it can get rid of seasick. And the depths of gold we can repay, but depths of kindness last through life show that we always have to do kindness to people and be kind. The last one would be, why attempt to light a lantern if the wick should not be in it? Why attempt to smile and wanton if you do not really mean it? Lantern, or we call it as pelita in Bahasa, shows that if there's no wick, there's no use that if you want to light, if we place a lamp in the dark place, but what is the function if it cannot light the dark? This also shows that if you really like someone, you have to show the effort to that someone. If you don't have the intention to own their hearts, why do you have to flirt at the first place? And that's it for my Pantun Nasihat. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoy doing this.
Have you ever heard about the poem Bukit by Zurinah Hassan? So today I'm going to recite the poem to you guys. You are left at a corner to witness Kuala Lumpur changing its face, building and developing like the hungry waves, threatening to swallow you. The poem talks about our environment being eaten by the development of buildings, and so we are to focus on being patriotic until we forget about the importance of taking care of our own environment. Okay, for the second poem, there is Instant Flood, also by the poet that is Zurinah Hassan. Sungai Kelang and Sungai Gombak said, you were born out of our mating, but you grew out of hand. The load of your growth laid heavy on our body. Are you forgetting us, your parent, as we lie quiet and patient? Only after a heavy rain we rise up to demand attention. The poem talks about both of the rivers that represents a parent that have an arrogant child, and also the poem is full with allusions that give an excitement to the reader's story.